This is Weekend Winners, proudly brought to you by 1Equine for the equine athlete. And we're back at Albion Park on Saturday night, 9 races. We start around 5:40, and again, it's a strong program, and this coincides with the big night coming through from Sydney at Menangle. Strong Queensland interest down here. But at Albion Park Saturday night, we start with the Open, we've got the Mares Open, and we've got a really intriguing stand-start trot, which comes up as race number 4 on the program. So there's something for everyone here on Saturday night. In this edition of Weekend Winners, we're going to chat with Chloe Butler and Brendan Barnes. Chloe Butler jumps into the hot seat to go through her drives on Saturday night, and she joins us now. Chloe, appreciate the time.
Thanks for having me, Chris.
We start in race 1. This is the Open now. I'm keen to get your thoughts here. 3 runners for the stable. Deus Ex Gate 1, Collector Dime, Gate 2, Targaryen 5. You opted for the latter, Targaryen. Was that a tough choice?
Yes, it was, because I've grown such a soft spot for Collector Dime, but then again, I've loved Targaryen for such a long time now, so it was hard, but it wasn't really.
Okay, so Targaryen, your drive, he's a very capable type. He's got wicked change-up speed. The draw, though, makes it tricky here on Saturday night, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely for him. I'd like to swap him and Collector Dime around. But yeah, it's going to be very hard for him. I think we just got to sort of pop in somewhere and hopefully they go silly up front and that'll suit us just perfect.
His recent form is good. He scored 3 starts ago, used that speed, and he's been beaten at his next 2, but he's been far from disgraced. Are you happy with the way he's performing right now?
Yeah, we couldn't be happier. His numbers might not look great, but his sections lately have been off the map. So yeah, we couldn't be any happier with him at the moment.
It's just one of those things. When you're at that level, you just got to sort of take your medicine. You can't win out of turn, and it's just one of those situations for Targaryen right now.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, if he drew 1 or 2, 8 or 9 every week and got that perfect cosy trip that he likes, he'd definitely run top 4 any day of the week, but we can't get that at the moment, so we just got to take it as it comes.
Okay. Just on Collector Dime, you've been driving this guy lately. He's made that transition quite well, going from that restricted company up to open class, and his run last week was good.
Yeah, definitely. We can't believe how much he stepped up. Even that first week, he stepped up into the open grade. I couldn't have been any happier with him. I was actually shocked with how good he went. I know he was in good form and everything, but it's a massive step up compared to what he was racing. And yeah, to do what he's doing at the moment, yeah, it's a massive achievement.
Okay, just with this race on Saturday night, Delhi Rose in super form, drawn out in 7. Gem RT is going to be hard in the market. Tim's a trooper. They probably look the main ones. Do you think this race is going to generate a really strong speed?
I think so. There's a lot of horses in it actually going really well at the moment, and it's a pretty even at the moment, but like you say, Delhi Road's, yeah, it's flying at the moment. So I think, personally, myself, I think it'll be the one to beat.
Okay, well, that's the first. Let's go to race 2. You've developed a good rapport with this guy, Nürburgring. Now, I'll ask this question. I reckon I know the answer to it. He didn't shock you when he won 2 starts ago, did he?
No, he really didn't. He'd been absolutely flying. I think I'd done an interview with you the first time I sat behind him, and we couldn't have been happier with his runs. And he's just one of those horses that draws 7 or 10 every week and doesn't get the right trip into the race, but we finally got a good trip and everything worked out our way.
Okay, his next start he was 6, but again, right behind them.
Yeah, he went super again and we couldn't have been happier with him.
Okay, this race on Saturday night, the draw makes it a little tricky, gate 5, because you're out in no man's land, and it's a strong race. The janitor lines up here. He's fresh up, drawn off the second row. How do you sort of think he fits in here?
Yeah, he's definitely not out of it, but I think he missed last week as he was a scratching. I think, yeah, we might have to sort of look after him a little bit and I think work his way back into it again. Okay,
so look for all the shortcuts?
Yeah, I think so. It's going to be one of those races where we're sort of going to have to do that, I think.
And those horses drawn to your inside, they're going to be up on the speed early here. I think this race is going to generate good speed itself.
Yeah, I had a quick look at it before and thought the exact same thing, and if that's the case, we're definitely a top 3 chance.
Okay, let's go across to race number 4. This is the trot. Masterly, the former Kiwi. What sort of impression did he give you first up last week?
Yeah, I couldn't have been happier with him. He's still learning about me and I'm still learning about him, and this week I'm going in knowing a lot more about him, so I'm a lot more confident.
What about the fact that he goes from the mobile to the stand? Have you given him any practice at home this week? Do you need to give him any practice from the stand?
We more wanted to give him more mobile practice, just because most starts over in New Zealand he was stand starts, so I think he's more got to learn a lot more off the mobile, so I don't really have any problems going into the stand.
Okay, just looking back at his replay here, you're chasing home the two form trotters in Queensland right now. There's no trotter going better than Golden Sunset, and Zealous Spur, he is fit and in form. So his numbers, your own numbers, Masterly, they would have been terrific.
Yeah, that's it. I couldn't have been happy with him. Like I said, I was still learning about him on Saturday night, and all we wanted to do was get around safely and trot, and that's what we did. And you know, he was a bit on the lazier side, which I know for next time, but I think I'd rather him like that than off his head.
He's a good style of horse, chestnut in colour, he's got long legs.
Yeah, he's a beautiful going boy. He's even real nice and smooth to sit behind.
Okay, now he was amongst nominations for the Inter-Dominion. Is that the long-term target? You want to try and get him into that top 24?
Yeah, Bob's parents sent him over to target that, but they're also just send him over to send him around in the Open every week, and hopefully we can earn some good money.
Yeah, his overall record's good. Like, he's won 9 races from less than 50 starts. He's got almost 150 in the bank. He looks like he's going to do a good job. Whether the Inter-Dominion comes around too soon, but I think the longer he's here, the better he's going to be.
Yeah, I believe so as well. You know, he's one of those horses that'll be competitive each week, a bit like Adele, but with a few more manners than her. But I think each week he'll be nice and competitive, and yeah, be one to look out for.
All right, is he the pick of your drives on the weekend?
Yeah, but I might just have to sneak in Targaryen because I can never not.
I tell you what, speaking of sneaking, you're sneaking in and out. You're done after race 4.
Yeah, I got an early night, thank God for once.
Yeah, that's a good result. Hey, appreciate the time. We'll see you trackside.
No worries, thank you.
Brendan Barnes is with us, and he's got some good drives on Saturday night at Albion Park. He's in the hot seat. Brendan, appreciate the time.
No worries, Chris.
Your first drive, race 2, your old mate Parami. You know this guy well. You know he's got gate speed, but this is a really strong race. How do you rate his chances?
Yeah, it's a very hot field. Yeah, I think he'll run his usual sort of race. I dare say, you know, he's only second up. I'd be pretty keen just to go back and drive him with one run and sort of wait till he gets back into those veterans races, but we'll just have to see what the camp's got in mind.
Okay. If you wanted to, could he lead that field?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. All right, well, that's race 2, Parama. Key drive here, race 3, horse 1, Our Indifference. This guy's bursting to win a race. Have you found the right race for him this weekend?
If it was over a mile, I'd be really confident. In saying that, I still think, yeah, he'll be pretty close to the action, that's for sure.
Okay. Does it help that what looks to be a main danger on paper, Alfred John Crusader's drawn so wide? Does that help?
Yeah, I think, you know, we'll be able to boot through and you know, hold the rail for as long as we want to, and then we'll just have to see what happens thereafter.
Okay. Last week, he was second behind Al Benson. They were low flying in that race, 152. Were you happy with the performance?
Yeah, I was happy with the performance. I think if we had it over again, he'd probably win. I probably drove him a little bit too pretty, you know, cutting back to the inside, and he probably got held up a little bit, halted his momentum. I think if I'd have stayed one off and come wide, he probably wins the race. Okay,
let me ask this question. The inside going last week, was it as good as, or could have it been better?
Yeah, it could have been better, and he's not the best gated horse anyway, and he was a little bit hoppy and skippy throughout, and I made the decision to drop to the fence, you know, when Pete dropped off, and I sort of thought straight away it was the wrong move, and I went to come back off, and he just wasn't comfortable in his gait, so I just thought I had to take my medicine and stay there.
Okay, so this week you got that little reservation about the 2,138 metres. Is the plan to lead here?
We'll just sort of see what pressure comes from the 7. I think, yeah, we haven't really established a racing pattern for him over 2,100. Over a mile, we always sort of hold the front with him, but you know, 2,100, we're sort of open to hold. We're open to take a trail. We'll just see what happens.
Is Alfred John Crusader the only one that you would consider taking?
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay. So that could easily be a race in 2 there, because you look at the rest of them, their form's okay, but these two horses, they clearly stand out.
Yeah, it does look that way.
Okay. Race number 4, your own mare here, Berries and Cherries. What have you made of the past couple of starts?
I think heading into last week, I was probably just a little bit easy on it between runs, and then obviously the rain and the track didn't help, and then I probably shouldn't have driven her the way I did. You know, she wears flip-flops, which is, as soon as the track gets muddy, it's like running in gumboots. So it was probably, you know, a combination of a few factors of, yeah, a little bit underdone, muddy track, and then I probably should have just, yeah, driven her with one run.
Okay. Is she a good doing type of mare?
Yeah, very, very good doing.
Okay, so that's important to point out. Now, it should be a perfect night here on Saturday night weather-wise, so if we've got a fast, firm track, we can see the best of her?
Yeah, I'm expecting her to go really well. She's had a good week. You know, we've poured a fair bit of work into her this week. We won't make that same mistake again. So, yeah, I expect her to go really well.
Okay, which horse stood out on paper? Was it Get Used to It? Was it Majestic Lavros, Masterly, or something else?
Oh, probably a little bit of all of the above. And then I think if you go back to even Love Gun's marathon run, you know, he can't be discluded.
Okay, so berries and cherries, if she turns up like she did on marathon night, she's well up to winning this race.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, let's go across to race 6. You've got the drive here on Racing Time. This is another stand-start race as well. Any expectations here?
I don't think so. He's first up for the new stable. He's had a couple of issues. So I think, yeah, he'll just go round and be better for the run.
Okay, is he a safe beginner?
Yeah, good question.
Yeah, doesn't ring a bell for me, so I wasn't sure there. So it looks fairly open, that race as well. But if you judge him on that effort 2 starts ago, he can certainly match it with these types.
Yeah, definitely. You know, the start's probably just all important for him.
Okay. Race 7, this is the Mares Open. Top 2 are drawn to dominate here, Chinchilla, Riley, Rainbow. Aurora Joy's going well. I'd be surprised if you weren't happy with the way she's going right now.
You know what? I don't think we've ever been unhappy with one of her runs, Chris. She's just a ball of consistency. She shows up week in, week out. She's not, you know, she's not as good as them top mares, but she always tries her hardest and she's never far away.
Are you going straight at the pegs here?
I'd say so. We'll just have to see what happens with the 1 and 2 early. But yeah, at first look, I thought we'd dive straight at the fence.
Okay. Well, in saying that, at first look, did you think the 1 would hold the 2, or did you think the 2 would cross the 1?
At first look, I thought the 1 would hold the 2, and then I thought about it more and went, oh, maybe not. So we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, fences looks like the obvious thing to do.
Yeah, but she's a genuine top 4 chance in this field.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, okay, good push there for Aurora Joy if you're playing the exotics. What about in race 8? Here's another somewhat potentially tricky draw, Betting Jewel. Her numerical form doesn't read all that well, but this is a race that she can sort of get some good numbers going.
Yeah, definitely. We've been battling a few problems with her for, you know, probably her last 4 or 5 starts, and she hasn't been 100% right, and she's probably still not quite there, but it's probably a good draw for her for where she's at.
Okay. It's just one of those things, you stay on the fence and just drive for luck?
Yeah, stay on the fence, drive for luck, and hope she shows us a little bit of her best form.
Okay. This is a race, when you look at that front line and then you've got those classy mares off the second row, they might run a little bit of time here.
Yeah, they might do, and that'll suit us perfectly if they do.
Okay. So out of your drives on Saturday night, which one are you most looking forward to?
I think just with the way the barrier draws, I think our indifference is probably the best chance. But yeah, I'm really expecting berries and cherries to go pretty close too.
Okay, so races 3 and 4. Hey, Brendan, as always, appreciate the time. We'll see you trackside.
Thanks, Chris.
A big thanks to our 2 drivers, Chloe Butler and Brendan Barnes, wishing them all the very best of luck on Saturday night. It's time now to find a good thing or two for this meeting. We've got a few obvious ones. The Janitor's going to start very short in race 2. Chinchilla, given that she's got barrier 1, drawing inside of Riley Rainbow, she's likely to start very short as well. But I think the best chance on Saturday night as far as value, race 5, number 1, Savion. She's on the back up after winning last Saturday night. I see no reason why she can't go back-to-back. She draws the inside gate. She's got options from barrier 1. I think she'll run a terrific race again. I'm going to stick with her. Mare's in form. You've got to stick with them. And that's Savion. Race 5, number 1. That's our best bet for the card on Saturday night. Looking forward to this meeting on Saturday night. Like I said in the intro, something for everyone. We'll see you trackside. Our first race getting underway at 5:39.